following the programs of the mind. Because the body is a biological computer, and it can be programmed to take on certain perceptions of reality. And the ones that we're programmed to take on because of the manipulation are ones of limitation, of I can't, little me, I have no power. And that's how we get infinite consciousness into a state of believing that it is impotent. But of course, if the few are going to control the many, that has to happen. Otherwise, they can't do it. So this fork in the road that we're now facing, you know, it takes many expressions. Am I going to get involved and do something about this, or am I going to run away? Yes, but at the foundation level, it's, am I going to go with my head? Am I going to stay in mind? Or am I going to go with my heart and go into consciousness? Ideally, a balance of the two. But that's the choice, and this has to be the governor, and this the servant. In most people, this is the governor, and that's why we have the world that we live in. We live in a world of mind. Pope John Paul II said the worst prison will be a closed heart. I must say the irony of someone from the Roman Catholic Church saying that is not lost, but I do take the point. And the heart is the key. The key to opening that auric field so consciousness and mind start to work together, and my God, what a different world we'd live in if we went from that state that we're in now. And so what we're looking at among billions of people are people entrapped in mind. And because of the way the mind perceives reality as everything is apart and not connected, and it sees things in complexity instead of the connection of everything, we are in a situation where we are a manipulator's party trick when we're in that state. And one of the key ways that we are disconnected from consciousness is when we, and we're encouraged to do it all the time again, you know, how many times again do we use these relationships to time in words and reality? Yeah, I used to find it, when I was in mind, like everyone else gets caught in mind, I was trying to work out years and years and years ago this thing that there was no time. I knew intuitively there was no time, but this, I couldn't get my bloody head around that bugger. But now it's so bloody obvious that there is no time. There is only one place, there is only one time, and that's what has become known as the now. And the now is where consciousness is. Because consciousness operates in the now, a state of no time, if we can be pulled into a connection to time, and past, present, and future, by definition, we are already disconnecting from consciousness, because that's in a state of no time, and suddenly our perception has gone into a state of time. How many people, and I'm talking about myself this over the years too, big time. How many of us, we don't live in the now. We live in the past, what we perceive the past. If only, what if, oh my God, oh, what I did. And we live in the future, which is a projection. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh, gotta. Oh my goodness me, what's going to happen about the future? Oh my God. We're pulled in our terms of our focus of perception and experience, second by second, using time language again, into the past and into the future. And in doing so, we get pulled out of consciousness, which is no time, the now. And yet, you say to people, okay, the past. You keep going on about the past. Where's the past? Where is it? And they say, well, it's the past. No, where is it? Where is it located? And people go on about the future, and you go, okay, fine. Well, where is the future? Where is it? Where is it located? This is the fact. The only place that exists, the only time that exists, is the now. The only moment that you can change anything is in the now, because it's all that exists in reality, once we peel back the illusion. When we are thinking about the past memory, Where are we when we're thinking about the past? In the now, the only place we can be. Where are we when we're thinking about and fearing the future? We're in the now, the only place we can be. And by pulling us into the past and the future in our perception, which is just a memory and a projection, we're pulled out of the only moment that we can actually change anything, the now. And that's where consciousness is, because that's where consciousness lies, in the now. As John Lennon said brilliantly in a song, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. And we're busy making other plans here, just a projection, and here, just a memory, and we don't live in the moment, which is the only moment that we can change anything. So once we get pulled into this time, and again I've got a watch on because we have a time situation today, which I want to keep to, although I think I'll go over because I've got so much to say, but we're in a time situation. So, but in acknowledging that there is a time illusion, you can still be in the now while still accepting that there's a time illusion, because you know it's an illusion and therefore it doesn't pull you into past and future. It's like that near-death experience has said. There is no time, there is no sequence of events, no such thing as limitation of distance, of period, of time, of place. I could be anywhere I wanted to be simultaneously. At that moment, that person was in the now. And the conspiracy wants to pull us out of that all the time. All the time, time. How many times do we say time? The whole of this society is based on time. What's the time? I haven't got the time. Have you got the time? Oh, I'm running out of time. Oh, God, is that the time? How much time do I have? It's all, and when we really, it's one of the things, you know, it's like, you know when you're in the street and you haven't noticed something, and then someone will say to you, hey, have you seen that new car that's just come out? And you'll go, no. And they'll go, oh, look, there's one, look. And from that moment on, you keep seeing this bloody new car all over the place. You've never seen it before, never noticed it, because you bring it into the conscious. You bring it out of the subliminal into the conscious. And when you start to look at some of these things, you realize just how much time and a sense of time dominates the society, and that pulls us out of the now, it pulls us out of consciousness, unless we recognize it's an illusion. All the time, we're watching the clock. And in the now, there's no time. And when we're in mind, there is a perception of time, not time itself. As William Blake, a great British writer, said, to see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Everything is in the now. And, you know, you can symbolize it in a way when you're passing across a computer disc or a DVD, you're watching a movie, and the movie bits that you've watched, the scenes you've watched, your perception is the past. The bits you've not yet watched are your perception of the future, but the only thing that you're experiencing and can experience on that DVD is the now. And that's where that laser is reading at that moment. And that's what we're doing without realizing it. And that's well, I wrote a book years ago, a few years ago now, not that many, called Tales from the Time Loop, and it was to symbolize this round and round situation we get, following time, thinking we're going from past through present to future, when there is only one now. And that is where consciousness lies, and that's where we can access it in its true magnitude. So the body is a biological computer. It has the ability to think for itself, and the idea is to get us to believe that is who we are. I call it a genetic spacesuit. You know, if you're going to experience the moon or another planet, you need an outer shell. If you're going to experience this reality, consciousness needs an outer shell. And that's what makes racism so utterly insane. You know, it's like we're all one consciousness having different experiences. And what if you had a couple of spacemen on the moon, and one said that he didn't like this spaceman because he had a green spacesuit that was made in a different company to this spacesuit that was a red spacesuit or a white spacesuit? You'd say, bang their bloody heads together, don't be so stupid, it's just a bloody spacesuit. Well, that's what we do when we get caught in racism. Racism is identifying, it's one of the classic, most profound ways that confirm that you are identifying reality with the vehicle, the computer, and not with consciousness.